What do you think of this? And this seems to be a widespread airline industry policy. Cool it, or you're just not on our jets.
Well, it's great to be with you, Neil. Thank you. I like this policy a lot. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think it keeps passengers on airplanes safe. I think it keeps crews much safer. There's no reason for people to accost flight attendants, accost other customers on the airplane, or attack people in the airport. Whether you agree or disagree, we can all be civil.
You know, these are very different times, and you combine this with the COVID fears, and now airlines abroad that are cracking down on those who fly to this country, the requirements now being that they have to make sure they test negative for the coronavirus before they step foot in the United States. But it could be another reason for people to say, do I really want to fly, period? Are you worried?
Well, you know, I'm actually thinking this might help people, because I think it's more likely when people see some of the terrible images you've just shown, to say, you know, maybe it's not a good time to be on an airplane because maybe this is going to happen to me, and I certainly don't want to get accosted, and I don't want to be on a flight that gets diverted or something like that. So I think when customers see that the FAA is putting this out, it's more likely to deter this kind of behavior. So I think it's more likely that all else, somebody might say, you know, it's probably okay to fly now because the likelihood somebody's going to mess it up is pretty small.
You know, Ben, as you know better than anyone, a lot of the airlines are coming out with numbers on the year and the quarter, and Delta, of course, the biggest of them, to say that, you know, 2020 was an awful year. Shocker. But it's hopeful for 2021, at least by comparison. But I'm just wondering how long it takes for business, forget about getting back to what it was, for getting appreciably better than what it is.
Well, it's going to take a while still, Neil. I expect 2021 to be better than 2020, but that's a very low bar. And so the real challenge, first challenge for the industry, is to get back to a cash neutral or generating cash position again. Most airlines in the US go to bed every night with less cash than they started with that morning in the bank. And that's a very bad, dangerous financial position for the industry to be in. By bringing more customers back, by being disciplined on capacity deployment and other things, the industry potentially can get to sort of a cash neutral time this summer, especially if we see a little bit more vacation travel this summer. From there, then the issue is, how do we bring back the industry into a profitable, sustainable kind of industry? And that's likely to take a couple of years, Neil.
Is that right? You know, there might be something to that, though, Ben, because if you think about it, I was just looking around. I mean, they're giving away flights right now to folks. I mean, the airlines cannot be making money on this. And it's had sort of a tepid effect on the overall demand. I mean, some people are taking advantage of it, but not nearly enough. So they're getting zoomed both ways.
Well, that's right. But think about what would be good for the industry. If somebody's a little apprehensive to travel and then they get a really good deal, buy one, get one, or a really great fare or something, and then they fly and have a really good experience. They feel safe in the airport, safe on the airplane. And then they come back and they tell a lot of friends, I was nervous, but I went and flew. That's a positive thing for the airline. So getting people on the airplane, having them experience that it's okay to fly, that it's safe to fly, as long as you have a place to go, that's a real positive thing too.
Do you think, I know the airline industry got some, carve-outs in the last stimulus plan, not so much in this latest plan that Joe Biden is coming up with here, although I'm not aware of all the latest details, but how long do you think it can last, especially some of the weaker players, for whom this money is vital to keeping people from being fired, but for only so long?
Well, the latest value that was given to airlines was all about employment. And in fact, it required that airlines that had furloughed employees bring them back at least until the end of March. And in that case, you have employees at places like American and United that have been brought back to work, but really don't have that much to do because the airline isn't flying as much. So that was kind of an interesting policy, I think. one of the things Delta said on their call, I'm guessing you heard this, Neil, was they expected that Delta was going to be about 15% smaller, sort of in the long run.
Yes.
And I thought that was an interesting signaling that they did to the industry. I think they were saying that for themselves, but I think they might have been sending a message to the industry saying we all need to be thinking like this.
Yeah, we're all going to get smaller whether we like it or not. Ben, always good catching up with you. Be safe. My friend Ben Baldanza, the former Spirit Airlines CEO, an industry icon, really, if you think about it.